Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, the South Point Casino and Resort for day number 3 of the 14th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. We start with a doubleheader on the women's side, as it'll be the Susquehanna University Riverhawks at Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, taking on the Wittenberg University Tigers out of Springfield, Ohio. Gordon Mann and Pat Coleman on the call, Dave McHugh producing this one, as we're already into the starting lineups, and you're getting a look at Coach Gabby Holko's Susquehanna University Riverhawks. The starting lineup for Susquehanna listed for you there. Leading scorer, Kenzie Selvaggi. Second leading scorer is Julia Pinkert. If you follow Riverhawks, you know they're missing 2 key players, Julia Roth and Bree Dorsey, both lost to injury for a long term this season. Over on the other side of things, Wittenberg University, one of a host of teams hoping to challenge for the NCAC women's title. Tigers come in at 7-2, and get a look at the Wittenberg Tigers starting lineup. As leading scorer for Coach Melissa Colby's Tigers is Jasmine Gaines-Burns, an exceptionally efficient scorer. Senior guard, 5'5". Joining the backcourt, Taryn Cash, Rianne Burton, and then Carson Carblom and Kelsey Reagan. The front line for the Tigers. Tigers come in with a record of 7-2. 2 losses on the season, 1 to start the season to Ohio Northern, and a loss in their last game to perennial national contender Hope College, 64-45. Tigers and Riverhawks. Tigers had a long trip to get here. Springfield is basically a suburb of Dayton, Ohio. They drove across the state to Columbus. Went from Columbus to Atlanta, went from Atlanta to nowhere for a little while, and then eventually found their way to Las Vegas at 1:30 in the morning. So notice that some of the coaches have some Starbucks coffee to get them going this morning. They are not a sponsor, but we fully endorse.
And an interesting, right, too. I mean, so Susquehanna's been here on the ground, right? They've had a game. They've gotten their shooting legs underneath them, at least, if nothing else. And Wittenberg's had 10 days off. They've had the holiday. You come here, you have a shoot-around, and you come and then, try to get your stuff done here. It's going to be how quickly do they shake off the rust from the handful of days off? That's always the question with teams here at this tournament. So look forward to see how quickly the Tigers can kind of recover from that.
They look spunky. They've got smiles on their face for dancing through the warm-up, so they're excited to be here. We're excited to have them. Double dip of Tigers, as we've got the men's Tigers from Wittenberg here as well. Lots of Tigers. Colorado College Tigers. We're all tigered up.
That's right.
Wittenberg with the tip. They win. They've got the white jerseys with the red numerals. Kind of a gold inset for the numerals. Susquehanna wearing the away uniforms today. Black, maroon, and orange, the color scheme for the Riverhawks. Susquehanna fell behind early yesterday, 23-4, and got it closer in the second quarter, but never really got back into the game against Colorado College. Shot on the way off the front rim and no good. Good defense as Carson Carblom just had to fire something up as the shot clock wound down.
Yeah, I mean, Wittenberg's probably intending to play with faster pace than that. They average almost 76 points a game. Don't typically expect to see them run 29 seconds off the shot clock and get a bad look.
Well, Tigers, one of the top scoring teams in the country, is the fadeaway jumper draws air from Grace Meehan. Meehan had a nice day yesterday against Colorado College.
Yep.
That shot no good. Rebound put up and in, and the Tigers are on the scoreboard. Rianne Burton, Tigers leading rebounder, grabs one there and puts Wittenberg on the board. It's 2-0.
Yep, and Meehan worked her way back into the starting lineup with that strong performance. Looked good from beyond the arc. So a little bit of change in the Susquehanna starters today.
Julia Pinkert with the 3. She's got to carry the offensive load for the Riverhawks now. They lost their all-conference player, Julie Roth. Roth had 26 points and 10 rebounds in the first game, and then unfortunately suffered a knee injury, and not sure she'll be back this year. Riverhawks also playing without Bree Dorsey, who they expected to be a key contributor in the front court. So Riverhawks with just 9 players available here today. That shot no good for Meehan.
One other change in the starting lineup is that Lauren Klein worked her way back into the lineup. She had started 4 games before coming to the tournament, then had a key role off the bench here just yesterday. and then worked her way back in, and Sydney Wyant is playing off the bench today.
Pinkert and Zoe Maffey, the only Riverhawks who've started every game. Basket up and good. Burton going to work. It's Wittenberg 4 and Susquehanna 3.
Yeah, I mean, of those 9 Susquehanna players who are active today,
most everyone has at least one start.
Like it looks like 7 of them have a start.
Yeah.
8 of them.
Pinkert off the handoff. That 3 no good. Pass into the post. Nice look, a little hard off the glass for Lauren Klein. Wittenberg with the rebound. Tigers with good size in the backcourt. This is Carson Carblom who can handle the ball a little bit. Taryn Cash, Tigers' top player from a year ago. Carblom dribbles to a spot she likes, fires it up from the wing and connects. Carson Carblom, an excellent three-point shooter, 45%. She drills that one. Tigers as a team shoot 33%. That's 60th in the country, but you have to remember there's 425 women's programs, so that's very, very good. If you're in the top 100, you're doing very well. Always have to adjust for the size of Division III.
Right, that's the top septile, basically, the top 7th.
Yeah.
I know that's a statistically valid term people use all the time.
Tigers 16th in the country in field goal percentage, 45%. Rebounding advantage +8, that's 57th in the country. And they defend the threes well, giving up just 22% per year, or per game. Shot on the way, no good off the hands of Zoe Maffey. Tigers quickly down the floor, 7-3. Drive in Carblom. Good defense as that shot is partially blocked from Meehan. And the Tigers will inbound from the right of their own basket. Taryn Cash set to inbound the ball. Cash, 5 points per game, a little under 3.5 rebounds. That time threw it to the wrong team. It's stolen away by Kenzie Selvaggi. Selvaggi drives to the rim. She can't get it over Carblom. And here comes Cash back the other way. Carblom looks down low, pass deflected by a host of Riverhawks. One of them hurdles the table and ends up in the empty stands of the front row. And Holko holding her breath. Can't afford another injury.
You do not want to do that. This is not your first game here either. You got to know.
Yeah. Now that is not a forgiving floor, is concrete in that part of the arena.
Right.
Carson Carblom for Taryn Cash.
And for those who haven't heard the spiel about this arena before, well, I'll save it when the shot clock's not ticking down.
Cash for Carblom. Reagan calling for the ball. Nice job down low, and they don't get the shot off.
Oh, no. Wave it off. There you go.
There we go.
Thank you. Whoa.
So what were you going to tell the folks about the backdrop?
Yeah, first of all, you got a bigger backdrop on this end. That's the right-hand side of the arena, the arena that offense was just played in. And then also, I mean, this is not really primarily a basketball arena. It's primarily an equestrian center, a horse show place. And then often there are also motocross events in here as well. And, yes, also, 30 to 50 or so, maybe probably more than that because we have 17 of them. Probably 50 to 80 basketball games here as well.
Yeah, a lot of them played in a month span as the shot up, no good. But drawing the foul is Zoe Maffey. And the sophomore from Jackson, New Jersey will head to the free throw line.
I kind of liken this arena to something you would see in the Big West, so like at a lower level D1 conference.
Right.
To me, it looks very much like, I think it was Cal State Northridge. I was watching a game out of there a few years ago. It's like, are they in the South Point? No, they're at home.
Free throw up and good. Yeah, also reminds me of some of the old coliseums and multi-purpose arenas you see in smaller cities, Utica, Binghamton, those types of places. None of whom really host college basketball very much. 7-5. Maffey hits both free throws. Susquehanna gets a sub into the game. Carly George, the junior forward from Manhasset, New York, checks in.
You just had me thinking about lovely days with the Utica Auditorium.
Yes, the Odd. It's a terrible nickname, but that's what they called it. That pass off the mark and out of bounds. Susquehanna takes over on the turnover. Riverhawks trailing 7-5. It's Gabby Holko there, the head coach for Susquehanna. In her 7th season with the Riverhawks, or fifth season with the Riverhawks, 7th overall. She was the head coach at Marywood in northern tier of Pennsylvania for a season. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound, Cash trying to fight around the larger body.
Runs out of bounds with it. I don't think that's something you could do in this sport.
Nope. Rhiann Burton returns after a short break. Also checking into the game, Jasmine Gainsburns returns. Tigers also get number 11 into the game. First action for the sophomore guard from Cincinnati, Maddie Barnett. Most of the Tigers from the Buckeye State spread around Ohio. And Springfield is kind of in the northwestern corner of the state, closer to Dayton than Cincinnati or Columbus.
I was going to say, not the last time I was there, one time I was there, I flew to Columbus.
Okay.
And then drove west for, I don't know, an hour and a half or so.
Yeah. Not an enormous state, so you can get pretty much anywhere from anywhere there.
If you start at Columbus, yes.
Yes, right.
If you start at Cleveland.
Or Toledo, yeah, it's a little different story.
Yeah.
7-5, three-pointer on the way, back rim, top of the backboard, and climbs its way out of bounds.
You talked about, or maybe we didn't even say this on the air, but all of the players here for Wittenberg today, I count 15 who are dressed and ready to play, and then there were, there's 6 more on the roster, 5 more on the roster who were scratched, and there's a couple of them who are here but injured. It's just a big travel party for the Wittenberg women's basketball team here.
Yeah, nice opportunity. Obviously, best opportunities for the players on the floor, but for those who are younger, they'll absorb some of the trip along the way. Coach Colby was telling us that she was a freshman when Wittenberg beat Hope, and it apparently left more of an impression on Coach Brian Morehouse than it did her as a young player, but still had that experience.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss out on practices either, right?
No.
Even if practices are light and they're shoot-arounds,
right.
It's about that experience as well as, of course, the off-the-court experience, which I think is very important in Division III.
Carly George catches it. She's fouled going up for the shot. Free throws coming here for Susquehanna, who's got to be happier with the start. Felt like yesterday they were kind of run out of the gym before the game even began. Didn't get their first field goal until there was 1:50 to play, and it was 21-3 at that point.
Yeah, Colorado College definitely presents some matchup problems for a team like Susquehanna. Susquehanna with its limited depth, with its kind of limited, strength in the post, that sort of thing. They just really did not have an answer for Zoe Tomlinson or, frankly, other Colorado College players as well.
Annie Greek at the free throw line, sophomore guard from Norristown, Pennsylvania. Splashes it through. It's 7-6. Susquehanna, a very good free throw shooting team, 76%. That's 24th in the country. That's top of any tile you can think of.
Spanish tile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton Cronin in the game, grad student for Wittenberg. Well, grad student on the roster for Coach Colby out of Louisville, Kentucky. Shot just on the way, rolls off the rim. And the rebound controlled by Susquehanna. Riverhawks with a chance to go in front. Grace Meehan, nice drive. Layup up and good for Grace Meehan. Comes into the event averaging 4 points per game. She's going to bump that average up with yesterday's performance and now today's.
You didn't see a lot of dribble drive from her yesterday. She was better around the perimeter. That's a different aspect to her game.
Jasmine,
when you're not facing Zoe Tomlinson inside.
Yes, Jasmine Gain, not a real efficient three-point shooter, misses there. She shoots 16% on the season. Julia Pinkert tests the defense momentarily. Now Annie Greek spins her way in and changed her pivot foot.
Up, a little down.
Nice defense there from Jasmine Gaines-Burns. Tigers will get another substitution. Carson Karlblom returns. Molly Mossing, who's snuck in on us, heads back to the bench from Cedarville, Ohio. Maddie Barnett, Karlblom, Cash, Gaines-Burns. Actually, Gaines-Burns just grabbed a seat. Burton, all on the floor for Wittenberg as Karlblom drills the three. Second of the quarter for her, and Wittenberg back in front. It's 10-8 Tigers. Salvaggi dribbling the ball. Not a lot of motion from Susquehanna on offense as Sydney Wyant comes to the ball, sophomore guard from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. 11 on the shot clock. And that's an offensive foul as Carly George gets caught with the moving screen. Second foul on Susquehanna. 2:24 to play in the opening quarter. Wittenberg 4 for 12. Susquehanna 2 for 9 early. Burton drives to the rim, left that one a little short. Carly George with the rebound. Susquehanna looking to push. Down the floor, Selvaggi finds a teammate. That's George with or Sydney Wyan, with the jumper. That's good. We're tied at 10 again. Now, this is the pace Wittenberg would prefer to play at.
Right, and if you're a team that only has 9 players that are dressed, I'm not sure you want to play at that pace.
Jasmine Gaines burns into the scoring column. Senior from Bladensburg, Maryland with the basket. One of the few Tigers from outside Ohio. Wide open three. Rattles off, and Rhianne Burton controls the rebound. Burton for Barnett. We'll swing it around. It's Peyton Cronin with off the screen. Kicks over in the corner. Now Carl Blom has got a couple of threes, hands it off. 14 on the shot clock. 1-3.
Yeah, the first one was Kelsey Reagan.
Oh, all right. She's a different person, I imagine.
That is true. They're both bigs, though. And it was like, I think, literally the first shot of the game. So I didn't correct you until
I said it for the fourth time?
Saying it. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I just want to give Kelsey Reagan her due.
Tigers bring the aforementioned Reagan back onto the floor. Drive baseline. All right, this is Carl Blom, and now she has 2.
There you go.
Thank you, Carson, for making that statement true.
Belatedly catching up for Gordon.
15-10.
It's kind of like someone got ejected but didn't get removed from the game.
Layup off the underside of the rim. Tigers looking to push. Reagan averages 7.5 points per game. She slows it down a little bit. Carl Blom, good hands from Julia Pinkert, pokes it away. 15 on the shot clock, 41 on the game clock. That shot partially blocked either by Meehan or one of the other Riverhawks. Nice weave inside and score. Kenzie Selvaggi, who's the Riverhawks' leading scorer, 12 per contest, gets the Riverhawks back within 3.
Selvaggi struggled yesterday. She was 1 of 8 from the floor, 0 for 4 from beyond the arc.
Cronin for Carl Blom.
Almost everybody for Susquehanna struggled. They shot 28% from the floor and 4 for 21 from 3.
Carly Moore has checked into game number 25 for the Tigers. That's her calling for the ball in the post 3 on both clocks. Shot on the way, up and good. And that is the way the first half comes to a close. Peyton Cronin for 3. 44% three-point shooter. Tigers hit, 5 threes in that quarter?
Little flurry to end the first quarter there, and 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. That's really good, and like we were talking about, so we didn't really talk about this. That's kind of the tougher end to shoot in. You don't see it in the frame on the camera, but you go back at the end of one. No, we're taking a break. I'm sorry. Go to break.
It's about finding your path. It's about creating it. At Susquehanna University, you can choose a liberal arts experience that prepares you for a promising future. Discover your magic and then change the world. Start the journey of your lifetime at Susquehanna University.
And we're back here at the South Point Arena, 18-12, end of 1. Maybe now I can talk about my apologies to everybody. The deeper side of the gym, the one that's on the right-hand side of your camera angle. Your shooting backdrop back there, kind of the way the floor is situated, shooting backdrop there is maybe 90 feet behind the basket, whereas on the other end, you've got the curtain behind which the kind of locker room trailer meeting areas are set up. Yeah. And, your backdrop on the left side is more standard, and you might see in a D3 arena or a D3 gymnasium. So sometimes it's a little harder to shoot, especially from long range. on the right-hand side of the floor, but Wittenberg didn't have any problem with that necessarily. 7 of 17 from the floor and 4 for 8 from beyond the arc.
Susquehanna, 9 rebounds in that corner, equaling the Tigers. It's important given the size and roster size disadvantage. Drive in, layup, no good, but the rebound by Maffey. Maffey's second shot, no good. She's fouled by Peyton Cronin, who demonstrates good sportsmanship, helps her off the floor. One of the things I noticed in putting together the statistics for this from the women's to the men's side is on the men's side, most of the good teams have an assist to turnover ratio that's, more than 1, meaning they have more assists than turnovers. Mm-hmm. For women, that's really rare. If you are above 1, you're like in the top 50 automatically. So it's just there's a lot more turnovers or a lot fewer assists. Why do I bring that up? Susquehanna, 1 assist, 4 turnovers in the first quarter. And Wittenberg 4 and 3. So they are in that rarefied air of having more assists than turnovers. That shot was way off the mark for Kelsey Reagan.
And I think the women's game's been like that for a long time, but not having tracked it over the decades, I would hope that ratio is improving. I think the women's game has definitely improved at all levels. I think I'm stating the obvious right now, so I'll just stop.
3 on the way. Shot no good. Enjoyed a conversation with Zoe Tomlinson, whose senior thesis is on the impact of Division I players on the attendance in the economy.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Division I women's basketball game moving into the academic arena. Here comes Susquehanna down the other way. Riverhawks down by 4.
She has a finance major, right?
Yes, this is very much in her wheelhouse. 3 on the way. Side rim, no good. Rebound, poked up and in. Nicely done by Zoe Maffey. Maffey with the basket. 6 points for Zoe. And the Tigers lead chopped in half. It's 18-16. Kelsey Reagan off a screen. Riverhawks have done a nice job staying in front of the Wittenberg bigs. That time, nice job by Kenzie Silvagi. Drive in, layup, up and good. Spoke too soon. Easy 2 points for Carson Carblom. She's got 8. Carblom with 8 points in 10 minutes. 20-16. First women's game that we've had here that's been close after one period.
Yeah, that's true.
Traveling violation. Rhiann Burton back in the game. Jasmine Gaines Burns, the senior from Maryland, returns.
Like, ideally, when we're setting up matchups for this event, right, it is not necessarily an invitational. It's a y'all-come event. So we don't necessarily get to pick and choose the teams that come. We certainly send out engraved invitations, for lack of a better term, in a lot of cases. But we're trying to get each team, a competitive game and a stretch game, right? Yeah. Now, when we do that, we're not necessarily able to take into account the fact that a team's leading scorer might blow out her ACL in the first game of the season.
Right.
Just for a hypothetical.
We've had 2 of those. Yeah. When we looked at the field, there were pretty clearly 4 or 5 teams who all looked like they were going to be kind of in contention for an NCAA at-large bid. It's kind of the way you measure it, is do they have a chance to make the tournament without winning their automatic qualifier? And these 2 teams were on that side of the ledger. So was Colorado College. So was SUNY New Paltz before they lost their All-American. And so was Cal Lutheran. So tried to get them games against each other as much as possible.
Kind of boost that NPI, right? Before we even knew what how that was going to be, how that was going to manifest itself, shall we say.
Pass into the post. Binkert trying to pivot on the smaller player. Not sure how she got that shot off. Rhiann Burton fights through the rebound of Annie Greek, and Greek picks up the foul. One of the Wittenberg assistant coaches is charged up over there. Jana Bosselman, a graduate of Wittenberg in '99. The other coaches are Chad Mason and Sam McKay. Colby's been very successful very quickly. 47-13, third season. He finished in a tie for first place in the first couple of seasons. He was an associate head coach at Cincinnati before this, but played for the Tigers. Graduated from the university. Carly George for 2. 22-18.
Yeah, and then Susquehanna was 4th place in the landmark last year. That's in a conference that has Scranton, which is, often head and shoulders above everybody in the region. And then a Catholic, which also made the NCAA tournament as well. So landmark women's basketball at the top is pretty good.
Yep.
On that 10-team league.
Yeah, Riverhawks have 3 teams ranked at the top 25 in their own conference. Oh, beautiful reception and pivot, and then Carly George blew the layup. 22-18, Tigers back the other way.
Yeah, I did not mean to leave out E-Town. Elizabethtown. Let's give it the full name on first reference, right?
Down the floor, wide open layup for Zoe Maffey, who finishes it off, and the Riverhawks back within 2.
She's like, give me the ball, give me the ball,
yeah.
give me the ball. Like 3 or 4 steps before it did get to her.
8 points for Maffey, tied for the game high with Carblom of the Tigers. As Taryn Cash looks, she's pensively dribbling the ball by herself, collecting her thoughts. Over for Jasmine Gaines-Burns. Gaines-Burns swings to the baseline. Cash pulls it out. Tigers run the clock down to 5 without thinking much here about shooting. 3 on the way. Well, that'll work. Taryn Cash for 3. Not a frequent shooter. That's just her 6th attempt of the year. She's 4 for 6, though. 25-20.
It's good to be pensive and result in a 66% three-point percentage.
That's right. Pass into the post. Maffey kicks out. Riverhawks will try and answer. Back of the rim, no good. And a foul on the floor on, they call it on Wittenberg, I believe. Yeah, it's on Kelsey Reagan. Trio of subs for the Tigers. Brayton Cronin returns. Number 11, Maddie Barnett. And Molly Mossing, freshman wing from Cedarville. Carly George calling for the ball on a much smaller player. Shot is up. George just went over the back of that smaller player for the foul. Second foul on Carly. First of the period on the Riverhawks. George and Annie Greek with 2 fouls apiece. 3 on the way, up and good, and that's Jasmine Gaines-Burns for 3. Tigers have hit 6 threes here in this game. 27-20. Wittenberg in front by 7.
As we mentioned, top septile in 3-point shooting. Just keep saying septile.
Pinkert. Tigers pinching in on defense. 8 on the shot clock. Outside, open look at a 3. Back rim, no. Carly George could not quite get her hands on it. And Molly Mossing controls the rebound. Under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Wittenberg looking to extend their 7-point lead. Mossing swings the ball around for Cronin, who hit a 3 in the first quarter. Burton. Now into the hands of Maddie Barnett. Barnett, nice move to the hoop. Draws the contact, and she'll go to the free throw line. Julia Pinkert picking up the personal. That's her second.
Pinkert with 2, George with 2, Greek with 2. That's your 6. Not necessarily foul trouble per se, but when you're starting with a relatively thin lineup, I think it's prudent to start looking early at those things.
Zoe Maffey checks back in. Free throw line from Maddie Barnett. 57% free throw shooter on the season. First one looked pretty good, though. Tigers as a whole shoot 65%. It's a little below average for D3. Barnett rattles the second one out. Nice job on the rebound by Zoe Maffey. Sophomore forward who's had to grow up quickly here for Coach Holko. 28-20. Susquehanna with the ball, trailing by 8 as we approach the 3.5-minute mark. In the first quarter, Maffey drives in. Good defense. 3-second violation. I'm not sure if they got any Greek or Maffey on the 3 seconds.
Yeah, and Mafi has started all of the games this season. She started the one game that Julia Roth played in, right, where she had the 26 points and the 10 boards.
Yeah.
So she was, part of the lineup, obviously, and not had to step into the starting lineup per se, but definitely everybody has to shoulder more of a scoring role when your top scorer is lost. I would presume for the season. I am not a medical professional.
Yeah, did not ask the question directly of Holko, but that seemed to be the implication when I spoke with her yesterday. Dribble to the right side. Kenzie Salvaggi. 13 on the clock. Give and go. Layup up and good. Nicely done, Lauren Klein off the screen and roll. 28-22. Kick to the outside. Just over the outstretched arms of Klein. 3 on the way. Good. Maddie Barnett for 3 as the Tigers continue to fire away from outside. Barnett, the 5th different Tiger to hit a 3 in the first half. It's 31-22. Wittenberg trying to improve to 8-2. 3 on the way. Back rim won't find the hole for Sydney Wyamp, but an offensive rebound for Grace Maffey. 31-22. Susquehanna trying to keep this close. Pass wide open. Lauren Klein for 2. Beautiful look from Kenzie Salvaggi on the find. And it's 31-24. Tigers seem to be getting a little more out of their second lineup than their first. Colby's bench has been good contributors. Peyton Cronin on cue drills another 3. Cronin 2 for 3 from the floor and 2 for 2 from behind the arc. Tigers shooting over 50% from 3. 33-24, minute 33 to play. Klein into the post, Zoe Maffey, and offensive foul called. Peyton Cronin draws the contact. And Coach Colby going to bring a couple of starters back out. Taryn Cash, Carson Carblom, Kelsey Reagan, and Carly Moore. Carly Moore from Tip City, Ohio. I don't know where that one is. Right next to Lob City, I would guess, where Blake Griffin and Chris Paul used to play. It's a suburb.
I just assumed you made that up.
Yeah. 33 of 24.
Southern Miami County, just 15 miles north of Dayton.
Okay.
Population 10,274.
3 on the way. Good again. Maddie Barnett buries the 3, and that'd be a little disheartening for Susquehanna, who's played pretty well in this half, but is down 12 because the Tigers have now hit 8 threes in the first half. Full timeout. We'll take it. We'll be back from Las Vegas.
It's about finding your path. It's about creating it. At Susquehanna University, you can choose a liberal arts experience that prepares you for a promising future. Discover your magic and then change the world. Start the journey of your lifetime at Susquehanna University.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do, but more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
Welcome back. Special thanks to Susquehanna University for sponsoring today's broadcast. University of Redlands as well. SUNY Canton and Mount Union University also supporting our broadcasts. First full day of Division III basketball after the Christmas break, really, today. A Sunday. Days and hours do not matter at this stretch of time. Games are played at all kinds of weird times, including 11 o'clock on a Sunday between Catholic and Messiah. What are the chances of those two teams playing on Sunday at 11 o'clock?
I mean, Catholic doesn't have any prohibition against playing on Sunday, man. When I was the SID at Catholic, we played baseball on GD Easter Sunday, for goodness sake.
Okay, well, worked out for Catholic. They defeated Messiah 62-47. That game was played earlier today.
Go Cardinals.
3 on the way, up and good. Splashing it home is Kenzie Selvaggi.
I mean, that's good news for Susquehanna, too. It raises everybody's NPI just a smidge in the landmark, right?
Yep. Those two teams both ranked in the top 25, both on the one's 23, one is 25. Next poll will come out not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, both the men's and the women's side. 36-27, 7 seconds on the clock. Drive in, Cash, layup, got it.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the plane on the way home from the Stag Bowl doing my men's basketball top 25 ballot.
38-27, don't mention that for Susquehanna. It's a sore subject.
Fair enough.
Riverhawks stolen away by Cash. Oh, great job by Pinkert to poke it away. Ball comes rolling loose, and that shot won't count. That was a nice job by Julia Pinkert, who did not get the steal, but disrupted the ball, the passing lane enough to make sure that Cronin didn't get a good shot opportunity off. And that is the last play of the half. I think the officials were
discussing whether to call something?
Yeah, whether there was a foul on the shot, but the shot was after the horn had sounded, so it didn't matter. That is the end of your first half, the first of 6 games. We're 1/12 of the way there. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Wittenberg Tigers on top of the Riverhawks of Susquehanna. It's 38-27.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
At Susquehanna University, we are invested. Invested in preparing for a lifetime of success. Susquehanna student athletes excel both on the field and in the classroom. You'll finish strong with supportive coaches and professors. Susquehanna University. Elevate your game and your future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do, but more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, We understand that, with what we were given, comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
It's not about yourself, it's about your team.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
I chose Cedar Crest because it's nationally ranked for its forensic science program. And then I also chose Cedar Crest because I could come here and play sports. I could be a basketball player and then I could be a student athlete, and my teachers would understand that.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual. The end result in my mind is you just become a very well-rounded person.
I know sports is important, but having the academic part along with it is a big plus.
There's more to them than being a student athlete. They're a club president, they're a student in the classroom, so it's a well-rounded experience.
Division III school was the best opportunity for me to have both the highest academic challenges and some of the very highest athletic challenges too.
So that's why D3 athletics is so great. It gives you the opportunity to get involved in so many different things and be able to still do all those things.
D3 school, there's a lot of time for other opportunities. During soccer season, the coaches, they expect a lot of you during soccer, but after soccer, that's your own personal time. It's your time to go explore different things and really find out who you are and other opportunities that you can pursue.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
I wanted to be really balanced. I wanted to be focused on academics and athletics and be able to do other things that I wanted to do. And I knew Division III would be able to not only let me do that, but support me in that.
You have more time for your extracurricular activities outside of school, whether it's not academics, spending time with your family, your friends, and those are things that are important to me in a college experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court. I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
Division III schools offer academic scholarships instead of athletic scholarships. This really puts the focus that the student athlete needs to maintain that GPA.
I got the presidential scholarship from Case Western, which was huge for me.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school, and I carried that for my first 2 or 3 years.
I did receive academic scholarships my freshman year, and then every single year I get a little bit more because of my academics. Just being involved on campus, being an athlete, and then being a leader in so many different clubs. All those things combined kind of get me recognized.
Don't pass up a Division III school if you have the opportunity. Division III offers many experiences.
I would definitely choose Division III school because you can develop your leadership skills. I mean, basketball and academics are so important here, but you can also develop like who you are as a person.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
I had numerous family members who've been taken away from heart disease and stroke. That drove me to pursue knowledge about health and well-being. Playing college football gave me an opportunity to get myself into college.
Goes to Parch. He's in the end zone.
That's when I decided that I want to go into personal trainer. I felt I would have a great opportunity to share my knowledge about well-being within Detroit. I hope to reach as many people as I can.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that. A lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
An obligation not merely to work towards a personal best in the classroom or in the sport we love, but rather an obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. For Special Olympics athletes, victory belongs not only to those who first cross the line, but to all of those who compete and endure.
They are challenged in ways we cannot imagine. They are survivors who test themselves harder and with greater joy than we will ever know.
Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn, as we all do, that in giving we receive so much more in return.
Sport ennobles us. And in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do? But more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
I injured my shoulder when I was practicing platform diving.
It was a blessing in disguise. When I went to physical therapy, I realized this is something I want to do. That's when I changed my major to physical therapy. I want to inspire people to do whatever they love doing. I'm fortunate to have Cliff as my coach. He made me believe that I can get back into Derby after my injury to prove that nothing can stop me from chasing my dreams.
Life isn't about finding your path. It's about creating it. At Susquehanna University, you can choose a liberal arts experience that prepares you for a promising future. Discover your magic and then change the world. Start the journey of your lifetime at Susquehanna University.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back. Quick look at your first half statistics as the Riverhawks and Tigers get set to start the second half. Wittenberg can't ask for better three-point shooting than that. 7 for 12 from the floor. The Tigers with 38 points in the first half. Also good distribution. They had 8 different players score and 5 different players hit threes. For the Riverhawks, Zoe Maffei with 8 points and 7 rebounds, leading Susquehanna player in both categories. Get set for the second half. Rianne Burton's first shot, no good. Susquehanna with Klein, Pinkert, Maffei, Selvaggi, and Grace Meehan, the 5 starters on the floor. Susquehanna really would like to get a win to go home because they're a tough stretch of their schedule. Jumper up and good. They start the season with games against E-Town and Catholic already in hand. Lost both of those. After these 2 games, they play number 9 Gettysburg and then back into conference play.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so Landmark Conference having a pretty good Sunday so far. Catholic beating Messiah. Drive in here, pull-up jumper, no good. Scranton absolutely obliterated Bethel, 84-48.
It's another Catholic school playing on Sunday.
Yeah, the Lady Royals 4th in the country. Although everything holds, everyone will likely move up at least 1 slot. Wartburg was number 2 when they lost 2 games before the Christmas break.
Tough in Texas.
Drive in, Maffei shot no good. Rebound controlled by Taryn Cash. Wittenberg, Rianne Burton draws a pair of players. Jumper on the way, 3-pointer no good. Maffei with another rebound. Doing a great job on the glass. Down the floor, into the hands of Kenzie Selvaggi. Meehan guarded by the taller Burton. Pulls 3 players into the lane with her, kicks out. Runner, yes. Kenzie Selvaggi using every part of the rim on that one, but it falls through for the senior guard from Long Valley, New Jersey, and Susquehanna's within single digits again. It's 40-31.
Good start for Gabby Holko's squad. You need to just kind of chip into this, right? You know that you couldn't come out and get all 11 of those points at once, but this is not the right direction, actually, it turns out.
Taryn Cash, 8th 3 of the game. Tigers with a 12-point lead. Cash has only shot 5 coming into today, and that's her second one made already.
I just have to get my analysis out faster so that it's not, obsolete by the time I finish the sentence.
Cash for Jasmine Gaines Burns. Burns hangs shot off glass and good. Boy, the Tigers with 7 quick points. Now in front 45-31. A couple of subs, one for each team waiting to check in. Julia Pinkert brings the ball up the floor. Maffey sets the screen. Lauren Klein from the foul line, no. All alone for the rebound is Jasmine Gaines-Burns. Taryn Cash, nice move, left it short. That's because she was fouled. So Cash will head to the free throw line. Best free throw shooter on the team at 77%. Taryn Cash, senior from Cincinnati, Ohio. First free throw is good. Leading field goal percentage shooter, 53%. Only averages 5.5 points per game, so maybe want to see her have the green light a little more. She's very efficient.
Very selective.
47-31. She's got 5 points in this quarter already, and the Tigers have taken their largest lead at 16. Outside, 3 on the way. Yes! Kenzie Selvaggi for 3. Susquehanna knocks the lead down to 13. Kelsey Reagan dribbles to the left side. Now for Karlblom. Cash crosses over on Klein. Good defense from Grace Meehan, who pokes the ball away out of bounds. Cash to inbound. Maddie Barnett checked in. A couple of threes in the first half, and Barnett is fouled by her numerical counterpart, Sydney Wyant. Wyant's first.
It's not often you play 11 on 11 on a basketball floor. You're not going to pull me out of football mode until after the football season's actually done.
And when's that? April?
Well, I think we're into flag football by April, so.
6:01 to play, third quarter. Wittenberg heads to the free throw line again. Maddie Barnett at the line. Barnett comes into the event shooting 57% from the free throw line. Made 1 of 2 in her first trip there. Tigers overall, this is just their 5th and 6th free throw attempts of the game. Actually, neither team has been to the line too often. Susquehanna just 6 times. Free throw shot no good. Barnett missed them both. So.
And yet it doesn't feel like the game is being loosely officiated. I think it's sometimes I wonder, and we have the same officials generally year after year, as much as we joke with them about moving the game along because we've got 6 of them, and you don't want to be the one that puts us 15 minutes off in the first game of the day. Sometimes I wonder if maybe we're
subliminally
encouraging too much to let stuff go.
Well, this game, at least from the perspective of Wittenberg, they've played this offensively from outside the 3 a lot.
Yeah.
And very effectively.
Yeah.
They made a lot of them, so.
For sure.
Lauren Klein with the rebound. Klein down the floor. Dribble with the right hand. And nobody picked her up. Shot no good. Rebound, Carly George. Good job by George to stick with it. Leading rebounder for the Riverhawks on the season. And Susquehanna is trying to get this back to single digits again. It's 47-36. Reagan for Karlblom. And for Cash. Cash dribbles by her defender. Layup.
Oh.
Couldn't get it to fall. Carly George, the rebound, checks over her shoulder to see if Cash is okay. Klein blows right by her defender. Shot, got it, count it, going to the line. Lauren Klein finds another gear and accelerates for 2. Well, what happened? Barnett just got her feet tangled up with herself and ended up wiping out in the backcourt.
Yeah, we talked about what's the kind of pace that Susquehanna wants to play at. They score a goodly number, right? Just about 68 points a game. Yesterday morning, notwithstanding. But when you don't have a bunch of depth on the bench that you can go to, and you're playing your second game in 2 days, maybe you don't. Here, you're using your speed and you're using your burst in good spurts and with good effect, even if the free throw didn't also go down.
Susquehanna within 9, 47-38. Lead was 11 at the break for Wittenberg. 4:42 to play in the third quarter. Maddie Barnett. Klein does a good job to stick with her. Barnett dishes off, jumper on the way, good. Nice touch from Molly Mossing.
And with the shot clock ticking down, too.
Back to an 11-point lead. Selvaggi dribbling the ball with her right hand. Averages a dozen points per game. Driving. Lauren Klein been very aggressive this period. Selvaggi for three. Back rim, no. Carly George gets the offensive rebound.
Good board.
Three on the way from the other side is good. That's Sydney Wyant for three. Has not taken a lot of them here this weekend. 35% three-point shooter, 49-41. Riverhawks inch a little bit closer. Driving in, sling it to the outside. Barnett, good ball movement. Three on the way, no. Rebound controlled by Maffey, who's approaching double-digit rebounds for the afternoon. Lauren Klein drives in. That's one too many steps. Maffey with 10 points, 9 rebounds. Making her bid to be named to the D3Hoops.com All-Classic team.
Yeah, she is. We do have to start thinking about and keeping track of that, that's for sure.
A couple of players with outstanding games yesterday for putting themselves in conversation both for most outstanding player, Tomlinson from Colorado College and Colby Zurich from
outstanding, as Dave would say.
Yeah. Well, wiped out on the play is Wyant. It's cleared out. Actually, it's Carly George, excuse me, as Rianne Burton gets called for the foul.
Dave would say it with a slightly lower timbre. Outstanding. There we go. I pegged Dave as a tenor 1. He's more a T2 baritone. He agrees.
49-41. 5-second count. No.
Timeout.
Timeout count. Riverhawks take the timeout. It's a 30-second. So we will keep it here. Riverhawks picked 4th in the landmark preseason poll. Scranton reached the Sweet 6 or the Elite 8 last year. They're number 1. Catholic, as we mentioned, reaching the NCAA tournament. They're number 2. Elizabethtown, number 3. 14 tournament. Actually, I guess that they went to, didn't they expand to 6 in that conference?
Yeah, they played 6 now that they have a 10-team league in most sports. Yep, right. The expansion of the Landmark Conference, adding Wilkes, adding Lyco, not a great addition necessarily. Does not help the strength.
Not
of the
helping
conference.
your strength of schedule.
Not in women's basketball,
Yeah.
because you take away 4 non-conference games where
Right.
you can really bolster yourself against teams in other leagues. And instead, you're playing teams against programs that don't add to your depth in women's basketball anyway.
No, like coming a good men's program. Wilkes is hot and cold, but reunites Scranton with their biggest regional rival. NCAC poll, very close. 4 teams pretty tightly compacted at the top of the poll. Ohio Wesleyan, who brought back the regional player of the year, Casey Schipfer, is tops in the poll, and they're number 10 in the country right now, although that will change. The Battling Bishops lost 2 games since the last poll was issued. DePaul, who's struggled in non-conference play, is 2nd, and Wittenberg, and then Denison, who's expected to contend for the title. And Oberlin has had an ability to pick teams off as well on the women's side. On the men's side, they're tied with, or is that women?
This is women.
Okay, tied with Hamilton, 69 apiece.
In overtime. Oberlin's 7-3.
Yeah. 49-43 here. Susquehanna fought their way back into this one. Maddie Barnett off the Burton screen. Shot clock down to 3. Burton, I don't think, realizes it. 1, gets the runner off. Well,
yep.
Maybe she had it all in her mind.
You know how many dribbles you could get in 3 seconds, right?
Barnett, a sophomore guard, who's very impressive. 51-43. That stops the Riverhawks' run.
It's like your quarterback when you're counting down seconds in your head before you have to release the ball, right? It's the same when the shot clock's running down.
Maffey dribbles into the paint. Backdoor cut. Driving in Wyant. Squeaks through. Nicely done by the sophomore from Mechanicsburg. 51-43. Riverhawks. 51-45, down to 6. That's Gaines Burns who has the ball. 3 from Mossing. No. Rebound controlled by Carly George, as the Tigers have come back to earth a little bit from the three-point line. 51-45. Susquehanna with a chance to get this as close as it's been since early stages of the first quarter.
Yeah, and 7 of 12 from 3 was not sustainable.
No, not likely. Carly George goes to the post from Maffey, who's got the much smaller Barnett on her. Oh, rattles out. Good move from Maffey, but couldn't get the finish. Barnett quickly down the floor for Burton. Burton collects. Shot blocked by George. Hits off of Mossing and stolen away. Klein down the floor. It's a 2-on-3 break. Tried to zip it in. Couldn't thread the needle. Gaines Burns with the steal, and then Maffey with a punishing hit across the middle on Maddie Burton. Knows she got her good. Scoops her up off the floor to make sure she's okay.
You'll have to take
and then
our
asks
word for
her,
it.
are you all right?
You'll have to take our word for it since it was not on the camera.
Burton was almost horizontal to the floor when she went spiraling to the ground as Maffey was going for the ball and got a lot of the lower body. 51-45, just the fourth foul of the period, so women's college basketball, 5 is the double bonus. We don't have a single bonus.
And it is 51-45. I know the automated scoreboard on the screen says differently.
Gaines Burns has had kind of a rough game, misses the layup there. Ball kicks off the foot. Here comes Cash. It's a 3-on-1 break. It's a 5-on-1 break now. Gaines Burns shot, no good. Fouled and will go to the line, and Gaines Burns. Zoe Maffey does not get cheated on her fouls.
Oh, that is true.
It's Maffey's second. Kenzie Salvaggi in. Sydney Wyant will grab a seat. I've not seen much of Julia Pinkert in this half. Pinkert, 2 fouls. She's played 19 minutes. Minutes pretty evenly distributed for the Riverhawks.
5 Riverhawks now with 2 fouls now that Maffey has picked up her second. 2 players for Wittenberg with 2 fouls. Nobody with 3 on either side.
Gaines Burns, 9th game of the season. Quality player. Has not taken a lot of free throws. She missed both. Tigers missed their last 4. Down the floor. Wow. Dangerous pass. George kicks out 3. Nope. No. Rattles around and rebound controlled by Taryn Cash. Cash bumped. Ball out of bounds. Gabby Holko desperate for the ball. Saying it went off of Cash. I thought it went off of Cash because she got knocked to the floor. I thought she got fouled.
I thought that's what we were looking for.
Darren Cash down the floor. Tigers with a 6-point lead. 23 on the shot clock, 45 on the game clock. Cash for Carl Blom. Colby stomps her feet and says, shoot it. Cash spins. Carl Blom, 10 on the shot clock. Jasmine Gaines Burns, nice move. Gets to a spot she likes, fires it up. Ball won't crawl through. And Lauren Klein and Riverhawks can take the last shot, and Gabby Holko says, let's do that. Susquehanna has done a good job to get back into this game. They were down 11 at the break. They've got it to 6, can maybe get it to 1 possession entering the 4th period. Klein, a little give and go. Salvaggi gives it away. 6 on the clock, a jump ball possession now in favor of Susquehanna. Good heads-up play by Salvaggi, who lost the ball, but gets the extra possession via the possession arrow. Jasmine Gaines Burns checks out. Kelsey Reagan back in. A little more size for the Tigers. Under 6 seconds on the clock. Klein gets it to Salvaggi. Salvaggi drags a couple of defenders. Pass, deflected around. Maffey fires it up. No, had more time than she realized.
Yep.
Thought the clock was running down. And so nice job by Wittenberg on those last 2 possessions to hold Susquehanna to basically 1 really low-quality shot in 2 possessions. And the Tigers get into the 4th period with the lead, but it's half as large as it used to be. We'll take a break. Good 4th quarter coming up. Tigers and Riverhawks, first of 6 from the D3 Hoops Classic.
Susquehanna University, we are invested. Invested in preparing for a lifetime of success. Susquehanna student athletes excel both on the field and in the classroom. You'll finish strong with supportive coaches and professors. Susquehanna University. Elevate your game and your future.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do, but more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter of action coming up here. 51-45. First of the women's games that has been closely contested. Cash kicks out, open three. Yes, sir. Good start for the Tigers. Peyton Cronin for three.
Looks like two.
Oh, a long two. All right. 53-45. Cronin with 8. Pass into the post, little too long for Carly George. Trying to work the high-low post with Zoe Maffey. Keeping our eye on the scoreboard. Oberlin women fall to Hamilton 80-70 in overtime, but Denison.
2 overtimes.
Double overtime. All right. Denison leading Bowdoin 53-46 in a Ersatz NCAC NESCAC Classic. 3 on the way. Good again, Peyton Cronin. Heating up.
Yep, this is a timeout time right here.
Yeah.
You do not want to let this get away from you here. You've worked so hard to get back into 2-possession range, and now it is, in fact, 4.
Peyton Cronin with the live stats are, they're showing her with 2 threes. I thought she had, well, that's right, the last one was a long 2. Yeah. 9 of 17, the Tigers, 53%. Are we approaching record status there for shooting percentage for D3 or for the class?
Yeah, all right, let's see. Great question.
As a team.
Team records are only online. They're not in the program. You can go to those by going to d3hoops.com/classic or bit.ly/D3classicrecords.
73% for Carthage against Carroll, 11 of 15, so that feels like that's out of reach. In 2013 when then they were the Lady Reds. Played Carroll in what was a non-conference game back then.
Kind of at the height of their powers.
Yeah. Susquehanna needs a basket now, back down 11 after working it down to 6. 12 on the shot clock. Pinkert, good defense from Wittenberg, down to 6. Baseline, Maffey comes in and gets clobbered, but good look for Maffey there, and Susquehanna turned that possession around quickly before they were forced to take a long 3. Darren Cash comes in and commits the foul. Maffey at the free throw line.
So they're not in range of getting, this is talking about Wittenberg now, in terms of percentage three-pointers in a game here at the tournament, but the number of threes in a game is within reach. UC Santa Cruz had 12 threes in a game here in 2017 against Hamlin, and then second place Bates and Eau Claire each tied with 10. You can get on the leaderboard anyway.
Yep. 56-46, Maffey splits a pair for the Riverhawks, trailed by 10. Pass into the post. Carl Blom wanted to go to Burton. Pinkert zipping around the passes there in the post. Carl Blom pulls the spot she likes, rattles out. Rebound controlled by the Riverhawks. Lauren Klein down the floor. Klein, much more aggressive in the second half. 7 points per contest. 5th start of the year for Klein. 3 on the way, yes! Kenzie Selvaggi for 3.
Big shot, much needed shot.
And lead back down to 7 for the Tigers.
And someone in the saloon that overlooks that end zone or that end of the gym just stood up and gave a big fist in the air.
Lauren Klein with the steal. George calling for it. Klein zips her way into the line. Shot, no good. Wanted to draw contact. Good defense from Peyton Cronin.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Someone's up there having a good time.
Karlblom hands it off for a teammate. Peyton Cronin, who's got the first 5 points of the fourth quarter for the Tigers. Taryn Cash drives in, uses that right elbow to create a little bit of space. Shot no good. Burton off the shovel pass, and Zoe Maffey got it off of the knee of Burton, out of bounds. Riverhawks ball. Next wave of subs check in for the Tigers. Jasmine Gaines-Burns, Maddie Barnett, and Carly Moore returns. Julia Pinkert, Sydney Wyant, Kenzie Selvaggi, Carly George, and Zoe Maffey, the 5 on the floor. For the Tigers, as Lauren Klein will get a break. 56-49, 7:05 to play. Susquehanna with the ball. Drive in George, beat her defender and missed the layup. Got her own rebound, puts it up and in. 5-point deficit. Susquehanna playing their last game at the Classic. They'll hop on a plane early tomorrow. Shot no good. Jasmine Gaines-Burns. Bodies flying everywhere there. Susquehanna with an early flight home and then plays Gettysburg. Wittenberg will hang around and play one more tomorrow.
I mean, you don't really want to be here on New Year's Eve, in my professional opinion, in Las Vegas.
This would not be my place of choice either.
You have to have a specific type of personality in order to enjoy that, or maybe be a bit younger than, well, I am anyway. I don't know about you.
Well, yeah, I'm not that much younger than you.
I just think about this over the course of these events. It's like, I have 2 children older than everybody on this floor, and then I have another one who's the same age as, anybody who's a sophomore or a freshman.
57-51. Susquehanna, 3 on the way for Selvaggi. No bodies once again all over the floor is Carly George and Karsten Karlblom. It's going to be on Karlblom, I believe. It's her second. Second foul on Wittenberg. 6:30 to play.
I mean, this is a key possession, and I think all of them are. You got to get your fair share of stops, and you can't afford to have any empty possessions here.
Wyant. Maffey calling for the ball. Selvaggi has it. 11 on the shot clock, and changed her pivot foot. Yeah, Gabby Holko says, I didn't see that.
I also was turned away, so I definitely didn't see it either. Dave wasn't watching either. Get us the replay. Oh my God, we're going to just overload the computer by dragging back to see if someone dragged their pivot foot.
Burton, Maddie Barnett, Kelsey Reagan, Carson Karlblom, and Jasmine Gaines-Burns, the 5 on the floor as the Tigers trying to fend off Susquehanna. Pinkert guarding Gaines-Burns. Ball poked away.
Nice jab there anyway.
Gaines-Burns gets it back. Drive in, pass to Burton. Burton drives to the line and is fouled hard.
So it was a nice poke away by Pinkert, but then she kind of overplayed defense trying to, either take the ball away, actually gain possession of it out near midcourt, which she was not going to be able to do, and then was way too up close on the person she was trying to defend, 47 feet away from the basket. And by the way, that's foul number 4.
Pinkert, after a solid game yesterday, double figures, has had a more modest performance here today. 3 points, 4 fouls, 23 minutes. Brianne Burton, who started strong, scored the first 4 points of the game. Hits the first. And second one won't go through, but Barnett with the rebound. Tigers steal the possession, up by 7. 5:46 to play.
Yeah, Wittenberg has had no field goals in the last 3.5 minutes.
Gaines-Burns changes that. Off glass and good.
You're welcome.
60-51, the lead back to 10.
Did you like how I set you up for that?
You did, yeah. George, guarded closely by Burton. Klein back in the game. Klein dribbles across the paint. Shot clock at 10. Wyant spinning. Works to the rim. Shot no good. Ball hits the underside of the rim. Rhiann Burton tears it away, and the Tigers with a chance to get this back to double digits.
She did a great job of getting to the basket, but just did not quite have control of the basketball once she got there to get the shot off nicely.
Kelsey Reagan dribbles across, hands it off for Gaines Burns. Barnett, drive in, layup, shot, no Burton follow, blocked away by George. As Honey Barnett spent a lot of time on the floor in this game.
She just got flung around,
yeah,
basically. Wyant is trying to rip the ball away from her, and
she's
Barnett
hanging on
leaves
the
her
ball.
feet.
Hanging on the ball, swinging.
We saw this happen in a men's game yesterday, too. It's the first 2 times I've seen that ever. Everything happens in Division III.
Barnett gonna find her way to the end of the bench and just kind of collect herself. Just giving away a good 8 inches there, so she's not gonna be able to get leverage.
Right.
60-51. Barnett gets a free ride, and we'll have a seat. Selvaggi, the Riverhawks need a basket. They get one. Kenzie Selvaggi for 3. 16 points now for Kenzie. Susquehanna back within 6. Ooh, ugly looking shot from Gaines Burns. Ball on the floor. Burton steals it. And the Tigers get a possession back, and Coach Colby says, timeout, please. Susquehanna has fought really valiantly in this game. Again, extremely shorthanded, lost their best player in the first game of the season, lost a key contributor in Bree Dorsey, and their tallest player, she's 6 foot. And despite that, despite playing 2 games in 2 days, they've hung in here trying to get a win. They know it does not get any easier. They scheduled aggressively this year, both between this event, non-conference play. They've got Gettysburg. They played St. John Fisher, who won their conference last year. So Susquehanna not shy about pushing themselves, trying to get this program to the next level in a tough conference to do that. (60-54). One more women's game coming up after this. It'll be the Kangaroos of SUNY Canton and the Bearcats of St. Vincent College. St. Vincent will make its 3rd D3Hoops.com Classic appearance from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Drive in. Cash almost dribbled herself out of bounds.
Latrobe, Spanish for the Trobe.
Right. Carl Blom, shot clock down to 3. Barnett got to get something off. And nope, ball out of bounds. Good possession there from Susquehanna. That cannot have been what Coach Colby was hoping for coming out of that timeout. She's very relaxed, though. Must be the coffee.
That's how that works. The caffeine affects everybody differently, right?
That's right. Selvaggi on the outside for Lauren Klein. Klein wants to get the ball into the post. Susquehanna swings it out. 3 on the way. No. Front rim. Rhiann Burton, who's done a great job on the glass, cleans up another one. It's the 9th rebound of the game for Rhiann. 60-54. Taryn Cash calm things down. Burton for Peyton Cronin. Cronin dumps into the post for Burton, who's got a much smaller Maffey on her. Maffey got a piece of the ball, though, and Maffey grabs the rebound. Size isn't everything always. Drive in Selvaggi for Klein. Klein for 3. Back rim, no. Burton, another rebound. 10th of the game for Rhiann, who's completely controlling the glass now for the Tigers. Tigers out rebounding the Riverhawks 43-29. Darren Cash. As Wyant comes out. Cash going to isolate and going to run down the clock. 8 on the clock. Tries to drive in. Now down to 3 again. 3 from Cronin. No. Rebound comes out long. Lauren Klein grabs it. 2:40 to play. 29 seconds on the shot clock. Klein quickly down the floor. Riverhawks will try another 3. This time it's good. Sydney Wyant for 3. And Susquehanna is within 3. 10 points for Sydney Wyant.
Little 6-0 run comes at the right time.
2:22 to play. 60-57. Carl Blom gets a step on her defender, but lost the ball. Turns around and fires kind of a slingshot line drive jumper in for two. 62-47, 57.
But a great job of just calming herself, collecting herself, and taking the highest percentage shot possible.
Lauren Klein for Selvaggi. Selvaggi tries to penetrate. Shot blocked, but plenty of contact.
We're going to show this again here. So you see this off the back iron. Here's the save on the rebound. Now we're pushing it up ahead.
Good spacing from the on the fast break there from the Riverhawks.
Yep, and then she hesitates, collects herself. The defense is late to come over and splash. Thanks, Dave, for queuing that up.
62-57, free throws for Selvaggi, who's perfect on the season in limited opportunities. She's now 8 for 8. Got them both. 62-59, back to a three-point game. 1:52 to play. Tigers with 4 timeouts, Riverhawks with 2. Cash goes to the left side. Pass for Barnett. Barnett for Burton. Burton looking for some help. It's Gaines Burns. Gaines Burns, shot clock down to 7 again. Barnett drives in, into the paint, kick over, Cash for 3. No, back rim no, but they get the rebound and they'll reset.
Much needed.
Pass, a sloppy pass and a fortunate foul call as Carblom just left the ball kind of lazily bouncing through the paint, but foul called on the Riverhawks. Not a shooting foul, just the third. 1:18 to play. Burton, shot blocked. Carly George rejects that one. And shot clock only took 2 ticks off the clock. Riverhawks need a stop, and they need a rebound, which has been tough to come by here in the fourth quarter. Gaines Burns kicks out. Carl Blom for 3. No. Rebound. And a foul on the floor on Susquehanna for the hold.
So
Carly George's third.
Yep.
And this possession continues here for the Tigers. Third time, perhaps, the charm. Rand Burton. Shot blocked by George. Ball batted in the air. Fourth attempt for the Tigers. It's Taryn Cash, and a foul called on Wittenberg as Burton comes crashing through the lane. That's Burton's third foul. Well, you get enough chances, something's bound to go right for you eventually.
Man.
Susquehanna down by 3, 1 minute to play. Riverhawks don't need a 3, but most of their offense has come from out there recently. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Wyant drives in, fouled, can't get it to fall, but 2 free throws coming as Susquehanna somehow continues to get Maddie Barnett matched up with forwards. And as good as Barnett is, she's given away, again, about 6-7 inches on whoever she's defending. Free throws coming for Wyant, who's into double digits, one of 3 Riverhawks. Free throw up and good. Selvaggi has 18, Zoe Maffey has 13, and Sydney Wyant now has 11. This would make it a 1-point game. As the free throw is good, St. Vincent has come out to watch the final 45 seconds of this one, and Coach Colby going to call a full time out. We'll take it with him. 62-61. Come back for the exciting finish of this one.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Life isn't about finding your path. It's about creating it. At Susquehanna University, you can choose a liberal arts experience that prepares you for a promising future. Discover your magic and then change the world. Start the journey of your lifetime at Susquehanna University.
Welcome back to the D3Hoops.com Classic. We've got a good one going here. Wittenberg 62, Susquehanna 61. 44.9 seconds to play. Tigers with the ball. 14-second differential between shot and game clock. Hasn't mattered all that much. The Susquehanna has not pressed, but Wittenberg is able to advance the ball across half court with the timeout. Taryn Cash, Carson Carblom, Rianne Burton, Jasmine Gaines-Burns, and Maddie Barnett, the 5 on the floor. So 4 starters plus Barnett. Cash rubs off a screen, gets to the lane, got it! Over the top of the defense, Taryn Cash for 2, and it's a 3-point Wittenberg lead.
That's a much better conversion of a timeout, right?
Klein has it poked away, nearly loses the ball, and does. But they're going to say white ball on the side. Coach Holko is saying I called timeout.
Well, they didn't have possession.
Is that important?
Opinion. So you see that again. There's that nice little drive in off of the off that inbounds pass, off the timeout. Now you got to get defense here. You do not have to foul.
No.
Not quite. And of course, you can take the timeout and advance the ball into the front court. So
need
the
to
fact
stop.
That there's only 3.5 seconds.
Need to stop and need a rebound. Barnett with the ball. Next foul will put the Tigers on the free throw line. Barnett ducks under a couple of defenders. There's a wide open player under the rim, but they missed her. Carson Carblom was all by herself. And now Klein comes out to foul Barnett.
Interesting.
Carblom had her self-positioned all by herself by the post.
Yeah, Barnett's a 57% foul shooter. I suppose if you feel like
one for 4 today.
You get the benefit of having those 17 extra seconds. Might negate going down by 2 possessions. If that happens, which it did not there.
Barnett, a little smile to herself. Sophomore takes a little stroll. Kings High School in Cincinnati. Second one, got it. 65-61, 4-point lead. Susquehanna now can just get a quality shot of any kind and just try and extend the game.
And they take the timeout to move into the front court.
Yep. Susquehanna, I think, has indicated they want a full timeout. Yeah.
Well, what else we got coming up today?
SUNY Canton, the Roos of Canton, New York, will take on St. Vincent. Second game for SUNY Canton, then a whole bunch of men's games. Starts with Hardin Simmons. They play their second of 3 here at the Classic. SUNY New Paltz will be their opponent. Redlands and Mount Union. Mount Union with the heartbreaking loss last night against Ramapo. 2 missed free throws at the end of the game. The Roadrunners will play the Poets of Whittier, who had a nail-biter last night. And then if you're a Wittenberg fan, stay up late with us. 11 o'clock start time in Springfield, Ohio. 8 o'clock local Edgewood and Wittenberg. Coach Colby, some final words of instruction to her team, up 65-61.
Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about that foul, got to be honest with you.
Yeah, Susquehanna has struggled to rebound the ball here in this period, so maybe they figured
that a possession was not guaranteed them unless they fouled them. Yeah. Interesting.
Wittenberg 9 of 19 from 3. Susquehanna 7 of 22.
Susquehanna has another timeout if they can get into position to get another possession.
Calls for the screen to come. Salvaggi 3, no rebound. Carlblom kicks off her foot. Ball on the floor. Possession arrow in favor, I think, of Wittenberg anyway. Yeah, Tigers have the possession arrow. And they will call timeout and advance the ball. And now this one feels like it's just about out of reach. 10.4 seconds to play.
Well, you know, your saving grace is stealing the inbounds pass. That's still a
right.
Still a path to getting back into this game for Susquehanna.
Yeah, you get you get a quick foul, and if Wittenberg just splits the free throws, you're down 5, but I'm not sure there's 2 quality possessions left anymore.
I would agree with that. Even, as we said, with one more Susquehanna timeout, which they could use to advance the ball into the front court, yes, they need 2 possessions and 2 good looks at the basket. And one of them's got to be a 3 in that situation.
St. Vincent trying to stay warm on the sidelines. Boy, the Bearcats look like they brought a large contingent. Look at how many people are over there.
Look at how many people they brought that are listed on the roster, first off. I'm not sure how many are dressed, but
they can play Wittenberg in the B game because they both brought a ton of players.
Right. Yes, exactly. A split squad. That other game is in a ballroom.
65-61, Rhiannon Burton at the foul line.
There's 19 players on the St. Vincent roster for this event.
Okay, Tigers are just 6 of 14 from the foul line. Burton hits that one.
She's sharp.
Rhiannon's played really big in the fourth quarter here. A bunch of rebounds. She's now got 8 points. And make it 9. And now it is a 2-possession deficit, but those 2 are both threes. Susquehanna calls timeout. Frankly, need a 3, a steal, and a 3 with 9 seconds to play.
And frankly, you think about the hang time of 2 3-point attempts. That's like 6.5 seconds alone, practically.
Great effort from Susquehanna here this afternoon. Coming in short-handed. Fought hard. Got it down to 3, but Wittenberg, really some excellent execution at the end of the game. Taryn Cash's layup. Cash has proved to be a very heady player. She looks like she is firmly in control whenever she has the ball. It's a very slow style of play from Cash.
Yeah.
Kind of, we referred to her as pensive on one play where she ended up pulling up and hitting a 3. Just very calm and collected, the senior from Cincinnati. Yeah, has the biggest basket of the game for the Tigers. 67-61. Susquehanna needs to take something quickly. Klein double teamed. Pass is deflected. 3 on the way. Back of the glass, no good. Ball batted around, and that will do it. Good battle here in the first game of our sextuple header on day number 3. Wittenberg able to hang on as the Tigers, who will open this day and finish it on the men's side with the victory over Susquehanna. Your final score, Wittenberg University 67, Susquehanna University 61. Field goal shooting percentage doesn't get much closer than this. Actually, it doesn't get any closer than this. Both teams with 38%. Susquehanna 21 of 56, Wittenberg 25 of 65. Susquehanna hit 7 threes. Wittenberg, which hit, I think, 6 in the first half, only in parentheses, made 3 in the second. Susquehanna better from the foul line, 80 to 50. Rebounding advantage in favor of the Riverhawks, 44 to 36. And scoring advantage, bench scoring pretty even. Wittenberg, 5 players in double figures, led tonight by Taryn Cash, who had that last basket, 12 points. Jasmine Gaines-Burns with 11, 10 for Carson Kornblom and Maddie Barnett. Rhiannon Burton finishes a point shy of 10, but she had 10 rebounds, a bunch of big ones in the fourth quarter for the Tigers. For Susquehanna, they were led by Kenzie Selvaggi. She had 18 points, one of 3 Riverhawks in double figures. Zoe Maffey with 13 points and 11 rebounds and 12 points for Sydney Wyant. Leading rebounder for the Riverhawks was Maffey. She had 11. Leading rebounder for the Tigers was Burton. She had 10. So Wittenberg with the victory improves to 8-2, snaps a extremely modest 1-game losing streak. Susquehanna with the loss drops to 5-5, 500. They will play Gettysburg when they return, and I think all-tournament honoree for Susquehanna is...
Well, I actually don't know. Do we announce before the end?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think we do.
All right, well, it will be a mystery then. You can log on to d3hoops.com and find out who the all-tournament honoree is for the Riverhawks. That'll do it for us. We're going to wrap things up. Roos and Bearcats coming up at SUNY Canton and St. Vincent in about 21 minutes. For our producer, Dave McHugh, and Pat Coleman, this is Gordon Mann. Plenty more to go here on day number 3 from the Classic, but game number 1 is in the books. Victory for the Tigers. We'll be back in just a bit with the second game of our women's doubleheader.
Susquehanna University, we are invested. Invested in preparing for a lifetime of success. Susquehanna student athletes excel both on the field and in the classroom. You'll finish strong with supportive coaches and professors. Susquehanna University. Elevate your game and your future.